Karen.
Morning. I've almost finished my coffee now.
Oh my word. This is what happens. We start chatting beforehand and then we start sort of, drinking as well, our teas and coffees. So yes, welcome this morning. We shall jump to it actually. I think what I find quite interesting about this subject that we're going to be talking about is that we noticed quite a few reactions and comments around this subject topic that always comes up. So actually what I wanted to do, we're going to talk about, what we're going to be talking about is how comfortable are you at selling? Do you feel like selling is a natural skill set that you possess, or do you think it's something that you've had to learn along the way? And the reason why, we were thinking about this, weren't we, Karen? And I was saying, oh, we should try and get a sales coach in. But actually two factors have come up. We're in lockdown 2 again, and it's bringing up a whole wave of emotions. And people are thinking, oh, I don't think I can sell during this time. But also a lot of the similar barriers to selling always rears its ugly head, especially under pressure. And whilst we were thinking, yeah, we should actually, we'll definitely get a sales coach to come on. But actually hearing it from two people that have gone through it themselves over 10 years, and actually everything that we've learned to get past it, and to provide some really practical tips and sort of unbiased information, and just tips and ways that have helped us, but also have gone on to help our other clients as well. Isn't that right? So yeah. I think what we want to do is, what do you feel about selling? When you're watching this and you hear that, all right, you've got to go sell yourself, especially if you are a business owner and you are the face. It's been super easy for me over my career when I've had to sell a client or I've had to sell services, haven't really come into my mindset at all. As soon as I've become the face, and you had the same thing, didn't you? As soon as it's you, it's a completely different perspective. And so that's why, as business owners, we were like, right, how have we done it? So I'd love to ask you, Karen, like, how do you feel that with sales and selling, how have you, is this something that you've been doing naturally or something that you've developed? Let's start with that question first.
Yeah, I'm not good at sales, and I know sort of when it comes to, I've done sort of some mindset coaching around it, I've done some sales coaching around that, and it's that kind of barrier. I think it's sort of that you think you're selling. So, and I was doing a lot of these things, I wasn't feeling comfortable, and it was like, why isn't it feeling comfortable? And it's a way in which it's done. And I think then when I sort of started watching more different people doing things, what really struck it for me was that actually you've got something that people want and need. So look at it as serving your clients, and it's your duty to do that and not keep it to yourself. So that seeing it as serving someone rather than selling. So I think that was kind of quite sort of a key turning point for me.
And I think as well, we have to remember that it's super important. Money is oxygen in every business, and especially if you're a business with purpose, somebody that's looking to have a bigger mission, you might think, well, I'm not doing it for the money. That's wrong. I'll tell you that right off. It's not about grabbing all the profit for yourself. Money is oxygen. You need that money to be in your business, for your business to continue and to grow, so that you can do even better things with it. So again, I think one of the key things that you've just touched upon, mindset. If I had to go on to one point, and like you've just said, reframing what it is that you're doing, and there are various ways of doing it. There are some great books out there. I think one that I would recommend is Denise Duffield Thomas. She's done she's done books, she's done masterminds and everything, but her first book, Get Rich Lucky Bitch, actually was really good, because just even in the everyday, like what we've been conditioned to hear, like, we're never going to make any money because we're just too good. Like, we're just too good hearted, you just give it away. And what's ingrained in us, even as children and our families, what that has actually presented in our minds and how that presents itself in business carries with us. So it's like breaking it down, finding out what those mindset triggers were, and then actually reframing it. And the same thing as you, it's, I come from a world where corporate was seen as bad, or it's very cutthroat. So actually now reframing it to go, but what if you could get some really good companies that are doing good in the world, to actually build and grow. So you're not putting all your money and trying to get your money from something that is negative, but actually putting it into something that's positive instead. So reprogramming thoughts, and like you said, not only your personal thoughts, but then also about serving others. Like I think I said this to you so much. It's your duty. Absolutely. You've got so much knowledge. Share it. It really helps others. So I think the value in what you're offering, to have the confidence in that. So the mindset triggers will definitely help with the confidence for sure. One of the things that I would say for you as well, and the way that you help clients, the way that I help clients, marketing and selling are, although they're different disciplines, I do see them across. Like, you have to sell in your marketing, you just have to, but there are different ways of doing it. And I think if you're not comfortable in what sales might look like, just remember that if you are the face of the company, then you have your own personality type, so you'll have your own unique way of marketing or even selling yourself. So do what fits you the best. But you've worked a lot, so what I see on the website is part of a long process. Do you want to talk us through that, as like the sales process to what?
From a website perspective, for me, I think it's important to really lay out clearly what it is that you're offering. So what is the struggles that the person's likely to have? How do you solve those problems? What is the benefits that you bring to them, and how can you help them? And always having a call to action for them to take the next step. Whether that's book a call, email you, buy something, sign up to your email, read your blog, follow you on social media. I think you just got to make it really easy for them to take that next step if they want to. I think you've got to niche down as well, because you can't, if you try to sell to everybody, you will appeal to no one. Also give lots of free value, but at the same time respecting those healthy boundaries of overgiving, because you've got to also, as you say, you've got to make money, you've got to be sustainable. So don't look at money as bad. If you don't make money, you can't then do what you do, and you can't get that great stuff and skills out into the world and help other people. Also, I think having a filtering system, if you've got enough information on your website so people can make a really well-informed decision, it just makes it so much easier. So when the more information you put on the site, and this includes prices, I'm a really big believer in putting prices on your site. I know there's people who disagree with me on that, but personally, if I go to site and there's no prices, you've lost me.
You've lost
a lot of the time. I would say 80 to 90% of the time you've lost me. It really depends how well I know the person, or how really much I want their service. So I think it makes it a lot easier. People can look at it and go, okay, I like what they're saying, the information's there, I've got the price, I can either pay for it now, or I can save up and do it, or maybe I have to look elsewhere if I can't afford it, or something like that. So just making it, that filtering system, I think, also avoids all those awkward conversations. So say, for example, you on your site and you just put a little bit of information, someone's intrigued, and it's like, okay, right, now I've got to book a call or email them, and I've got to find out now, more about it. I really want to get the service, but there's no price in there, and I've still got lots of questions that are not answered. You, as the person providing that service, you on the conversation with the person, you've got to now get into that awkward conversation of selling to them, whereas you might have just avoided all of that by having enough information on your website, so that when they actually call you or they click that button, they're buying, you're not having to sell to them. So it can actually avoid having to sell. So I think that's sort of one of the key things I've learned over the years. And having things like frequently asked questions on your site, or again, that just avoids a lot of time and stuff as well. And promise, if you sort of saying to someone, so often people say, oh, okay, sign up to this email and you'll get loads of great value, and then you get the sales pitch every time. So another thing, I was just reading a blog, one of my favorite guys, Tad from Marketing for Hippies, and he was saying on the site, if you're going to educate. If you're going to sell. Don't mix the two up. So I think that's kind of really key. It's like that clickbait thing, you know what I mean? Okay, here's what I'm going to give you, but actually then I'm going to sell to you.
And actually, Gary Vaynerchuk, who I love, he can run people up the wrong way, but I absolutely love what he says, because for years I think agencies have been a bit too complacent and a bit greedy. But especially if you're that business owner that doesn't have the budget, he does what he calls jab, 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 right hook. So it's value, value, value in your marketing, and then the right hook is the sales. So exactly what you're just saying is be really clear of what is a sell and what is providing value. So, you know, you want to showcase, because all the while you're actually showcasing, you are selling, like you're showcasing your expertise, you're showcasing your opinion, you're showcasing your, you know, your past experiences, your client testimonials. So it's kind of like, you could talk about that, but there are elements where you're like, I have this offer and I need to sell this. But just, I find that the balance, and that's why we get put off from selling ourselves, because we see other people that are just selling the entire time, and I'm like, I don't want to be part of that.
And it's how you frame that and word it as well, isn't it? So even if you are promoting something, it's, are you doing it in a really authentic and ethical way? You know, especially for the clients that we help, is it coming across really genuine, that you're doing this, you know, because you know that this is something that they want and that can really help them move their business forward.
Yeah,
I think that's really key. Yeah. One of the other things I just wanted to touch on was we spoke about briefly before, was the discovery call.
I think a discovery call. What's this?
The discovery, because they talk about, because they talk about it being a discovery call. So, you know, you think, okay, well, we're getting on to discover, are we a fit for each other? But then there's the sales pitch comes in, you know, so it's like, yeah, okay, I'm going to chat to you and everything, and then right, here are my packages and here's how you can buy from me.
Yeah.
So I think it's really maybe reframing it as not a discovery call, but are we a right fit for each other? You know, let's get acquainted so that we, you know, find out, you know, are we the right fit? Do I want to work with you, and do you want to work with me? I think that's really key. That's sort of,
do you know what? I kind of like the phrase, because it's a discovery for me as well, because I've got to say, the reason why, so the other thing is that what you've mentioned about the sales pages, the one thing that I would add to that, which I've learned through a coach, which I've been truly grateful for, is that if you're breaking down your service level, so typically I'd be a high ticket offer. Hey, as in my retainer services are the top end of the pricing bracket. And I realized actually I can offer value like all through down the line. So from the free content, the discovery call, as I like to call it, half the time I don't want people spending money on what they shouldn't spend money on, because they'll come to me. And so I genuinely, I think because I know what I do, I genuinely sit there and go, well, actually, I don't think you need me. But I need to make sure that I'm not spending 3 days talking to you for you to get all this, like, just, do you need this or do you not? And actually, where would I send you? Or can I send you to, this is how I would work. So we've got that in like 30 minutes, like just have a quick chat, which I don't mind. But this going for coffee is what irritates me. Like I'm more like irritated by, can we meet for a coffee? So actually, I feel like what has happened is that the discovery call has taken the, can I meet your coffee for a coffee and pick your brains? When you're like, oh my God, that was 3 hours of my life I'm never going to get back. Which, you know, you feel happy that you've done, but actually running a business, it, you know, it's easier to have a discovery call going, no, mate, what you need is actually XYZ.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you there. And that Let's a Coffee, I've been on a few of those, and it's either selling to you or it's picking your brain. And, you know, not all of them, but
all of them.
Maybe that, you know, then I think with things like that, again, I think if it's very clearly laid out on your website, you're going to filter out a lot of people. And also, I'm not against the word discovery call. You can use that as much as you but it's been clear you do it in the way I'm talking about. That's the way it should be used. Unfortunately, it's got a bad name, because a lot of people who have used that, in, you know, people are going, oh, I don't want to get on the discovery call because I know I'm just going to be sold to, and it's going to make me feel really uncomfortable and awkward, you know. So it's really clearly laying out what is going to be involved in that call. That people go, okay, I could go on there, there's no obligation, you know, I'm not going to be obligated to buy anything, I'm not going to be sold to, but if I want to find out what services they are, if they ask, then by all means, yes, these are my, services, these are my packages, you know, this might suit you, this might not. And as you say, actually, that is what you're doing, is actually discovering if they're a fit as well for your services, because at the end you go, well, actually, yes, I can help you with this, or actually, no, I can't. I think you need to go there, you know. So yeah, so I think we both, you know, it's coming to it from different. I think it's trying to, again, it's educate people maybe in what should be done in an ethical way. And
yeah, I heard a really interesting phrase even, educational marketing, which actually I realize that's what I tend to do, is that I'd love to teach people more, like in the market, like what would I love you to know more. So even with us doing these chats, like what would we love you to know before you actually got to that stage of coming into us. That's why I'm happy to do this all day long. Like I'm happy, you know, to have different subjects, talk through it so that you know. But I thought that could be something that if again, I always ask people, what with the frequently asked questions, are you answering that like in your content, so that before they come to you, like you say, they already are aware of how you work. So remember, that is part of the sales, like trying to make sure what the barriers are to selling straight away or to working with you. What are the misconceptions they might have about working with you or someone in your industry? How do you step out from that, and how do you differentiate yourself? So this is really good stuff.
yeah,
What I love on what you're doing on the website is all this work that's been done before, which I would flag up, is that, you know, how do we get there? How do you know what to do? So, you know, you can either work with, I would recommend, either if you have to work with various coaches, like, and again, we work with different coaches, find the one that fits. Please do find the one that fits you, because sometimes you could spend a lot of time and money on the wrong coach. Again, they sold themselves. Again, is it what you need? But I've seen people that tackle sales from a mindset perspective, even from hypnotherapy perspective, a business coach perspective, a branding strategy coach perspective. So there's all these different elements to selling. It is ongoing, but what I would say is that it is a process. Like, don't expect that you're going to get this one hit wonder. That when you do get these elements in place, the difference it makes, and I've seen it in you. I know that when I did my website, like phase 3, I found it so much easier to promote myself and go, this is how I work, this is how it fits. Actually, this will be a better solution for you. This would be so again, it wasn't selling, it was problem solving.
Exactly.
You know, serving and problem solving are my 2 keywords that I would say, instead of having to sell. But it's interesting, if you are the brand, if you are the business owner, to come
and I think just picking up on what you said earlier as well about different that you do, sort of the different package levels as well. So you could go from kind of, you know, selling an ebook to doing maybe a workshop or masterclass to doing, you know, a longer program or something, to doing one-on-one coaching, and the price level goes up accordingly because it's obviously more tailored, you know, it's more of your time, etc. And that's also a really good way of selling, because it lowers the risk for someone who's coming to you. So they could try a lower end product and see how you work and how this and whatever, and then they can move up as they need to.
It's building, which I think is really important, the know, like and trust factor. You know, we need it in our business. It doesn't just go in, it doesn't just fit in selling, it doesn't in sales or marketing, it's across business. And if you don't know people, you don't know business. That's my key phrase that I've read, and I just think that's so true, because I've been sold that. I've literally been talked at, and I know it doesn't work for me. I personally got more and more infuriated. So I was looking at this guy and I thought, wow, you're so successful in sales, but if I have to turn around to you and say you're not listening, then this is a really bad way to get my business. So as well as all of this, listening to your customers will make sure that you will be able to answer all these questions that we've been saying, listening to them, finding out what it is. And again, it's been a journey for me, and I know it has been for you, to get to a point where we feel comfortable selling. I don't have any problems promoting my packages or talking about my packages if it's a fit. because I know also if it's not a fit, I'm going to refer it, as I know that you do too. You'll just go, no, I'm probably not the right person for that, or you need this first. So from that point of view, I think that it is genuinely a place where selling doesn't become an issue, particularly during these times or any times where you might feel, oh, I don't want to impose. You've got something of value there, always.
Yeah, people want it. Yeah. And on the flip, just a quick one, on the flip side of that is not, well, we've kind of touched on it, but it's, not selling people things that you think they should have or that you want them to buy.
What do they
because just because you can come across quite needy or desperate, you know what I mean? So, and this also comes into the kind of healthy boundaries things. If you're overgiving too much, it can also appear that you're really desperate to just come on, buy from me. I need to get this, and that can turn people off as well. So it is, and it is really hard, because during times when you're struggling, you want to get that work in, you want to keep going, but it's a fine line to play, I think.
There is again that having it straight in your head what value you're giving for free, and keeping it in that part, and then actually, like you said, because the clarity is on the website of these are the packages, then it's almost like the sideline of, right, this is what I've given you, but again, it's taken the right amount of time and my energy to give that to you, but equally, if you need any more, this is where we have
you can signpost them where to go next.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of comments in here. Self-promotion. Nikki says, self-promotion, you have to believe in yourself and what you do. Crystal just hit the crux of it. Self-belief is often formed in childhood. Self-worth work is key. It can be done. Excellent. And so many coaches, it can be overwhelming. Are there key tips to narrowing down how to choose?
The way that I found the best coaches, because it took me years to find a coach before I agreed to work with a coach. And I've got to be honest, I had to sit down and go, where am I lacking? Like, what are my weaknesses? And what is it that I can physically learn to do myself? Or where is it I need to outsource? So that's where I genuinely broke it down and thought, okay, what is it that I have real trouble with? In terms of mindset, I didn't realize I had a big mindset issue. It was only when I was watching a webinar on sort of like wealth and sort of how to get financial freedom, and then they started talking about it, and the coach there just touched upon the point of what we'd grown up with, and it was just such an aha moment. And I feel that in any business you need to look at wealth as almost a subject matter, like a key pillar in your business development, and your approach to wealth, how you're going to gain that wealth. But for me, I don't call it wealth, I call it financial freedom, so that I can have the oxygen in my business to do what I want to do, work with amazing people, pay for amazing people, build that up. But I would genuinely ask, what are the strengths, and how would they fit that? What is their style like? Listen to their content. Like, all these good coaches will have content out there. Like you said, have the discovery call. And then if you just mentioned it, try the lower offer. If you're nervous, because coaches can be expensive, try the lower offer. And if you feel like you're getting a breakthrough and you feel like they can help you to the next level, go up there.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's really key. Girls just asked, can you repeat the author? I think that was the book you mentioned.
Denise Duffield-Thomas. And the title that the book that I had read, it was her first book, was Get Rich, Lucky Bitch. I think she's called that.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's a really good one, actually. And also how we can treat ourselves, because we feel guilty. I don't know if it's because we're women, but also it's like to have that scarcity mindset of, oh, I can't spend because things are tight. But also there are things that, if you have a scarcity mindset, you're always going to keep locked into this scarcity sort of lifestyle. So it was little things that if you want to look at a bigger vision, a bigger life, and much better wealth that's coming in, you need to open that up with your mindset just as much, and the daily practices, which I thought was hugely practical.
Yeah, really good. I think we've covered some amazing stuff there.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully that's been of help. We will be finding a sales coach, but I just felt that hearing it from two business owners and being a little bit more open about what happens with everyday people might be a little bit more accessible for some people, and just to say, don't feel that you're on your own. If you need help, just drop us a comment, and we'll be sure to reply. And if you have any questions, ask us away, and if we'll put some referrals down as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Really good.
Right.
Yeah, well, definitely any questions and everything, we'll hop on and we'll reply in the comments. Yeah, but I think, it's sort of lots of good content there. And I think from all I was writing down, I think I'll have to do a blog post.
You will. Oh, she said it live. She's gonna have to do it now.
Said it live, put it out there. Excellent.
Well done, guys. Thank you so much for either joining us live or watching on the replay, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Yeah. Take care, everyone. Bye.